I'm going to Assateague Island National Seashore today to meet up with friends and camp on the beach, and I don't feel like doing it. It's rainy this weekend on Assateague Island. Saturday is supposed to clear up, but only be in the 50s, and I took a day off of work today in order to pack and prepare and travel because it's a 3.5 hour drive for me. And I just don't feel like doing anything. It's nice to be home, doing nothing, not going anywhere. Some van lifer I am. But I have to get there probably before 5 tonight, before they close, if I want to check in tonight. Or I can get there after 5 tonight, but then I'll have to check in by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. And I don't know if they open it. I think they open at 9, so between 9 and 10 I'd have to get in line and check in. And I just don't want to be constricted to having to be somewhere at some particular time. They have no events going on this weekend that I could find on their website. And it's going to be a weekend of just hanging out in the cold with friends, probably around a campfire, and spending some time alone in my rig, which is a Honda CR-V, reading my book, I don't know, maybe watching videos on YouTube, but that's about it. It should be nice and relaxing, so I should be ready to go. Yeah, I'm not motivated to go anywhere today. Okay guys, you can see it's raining pretty hard. I don't know why I'm going this weekend. It's gonna rain almost all weekend. Saturday is supposed to be overcast and in the 50s, I believe. Maybe not raining all day. This is crazy. Anyway, I packed up my car, packed up the food. I'm bringing a whole bunch of stuff this time because I know I'm going to be stuck inside, or I'm going to be on the beach under my umbrella because of the rain, not because of the sun. And so I'm bringing a whole lot more stuff than I normally would. I don't know if you can see it back there. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to burn for my fire. I've got my down coat because sometimes when I'm damp and chilly, at 50 degrees, I just can't warm up, and so I'm bringing extra clothes that I normally wouldn't bring. Certainly not to a beach town. If you haven't been to Assateague Island National Seashore before, it's really unique. Number one, there are no hotels or motels on it. There are 2 campgrounds on the, what do we call it? There's a barrier island, I believe that's where the Assateague State Park is in Maryland. Assateague Island National Seashore, that's a tongue twister to say. And that's where we're staying. The campsites there are a little more private. They give you a site with a table and a fire ring, and surrounded by bushes and trees so that you have privacy in between the sites, whereas at the state park, it is literally side-by-side vehicles. You have a picnic table and a fire ring. They're right next to each other and right next to your vehicle. There's a pad that you can park 2 vehicles on if they're small enough, and then you're right next to your neighbors, and there's no foliage, so there's no privacy. So that's why we selected the National Seashore, even though they only have pit toilets and cold showers, whereas at the state park they have heated bathrooms with hot showers, and it's a full bathroom with flushing toilets. So that's our selection for today. Let's get on the road and see what it's like when we get there. 3.5 hours. you don't know, is a Delaware State Park that we stayed in last fall. It is the largest stand of bald cypress trees on the East Coast, the northernmost largest stand. And the cypress trees are really neat because they grow in the water, and they have these things called knees, which look like little children's cypress trees growing up. You're not allowed to car camp in Trap Pond State Park, but we stealthed it and camped in our cars. Well, you're allowed to do it, obviously, in the regular part of the campground, but you're not supposed to do it in the walk-in sites, which is what I prefer. The walk-in sites are in a very, what's the opposite of dense? Sparse? Forest, stand of trees, regular trees like pine trees and deciduous trees. But they're nicer campsites as far as I'm concerned. The regular campground, you are like sardines right next to your neighbor, just like in Assateague State Park, where there's nothing between the campsites. You were just parked like in a parking lot side by side. And so I got a stealth site last year and car camped in my car, and it was fine. Anyway, highly recommend Trap Pond State Park in Delaware if you're traveling through on the East Coast. Highly recommend taking a walk around the water to see the cypress trees and or kayaking through them. It's one of those state parks that's open year-round, but it is also booked solid, probably almost year-round. I imagine in the winter it is not. You probably could find some camping spots. You do have to reserve in advance, but they have some cabins on the water, which I want to take advantage of one year and just hang out in the wintertime. They are heated cabins and just look out over the, right on the water, look out over the water and just have a relaxing time. I'm doing something that I usually don't do. I'm about an hour away from Assateague. Normally I push through and don't make any stops, but today I'm making a stop to take care of myself. I'm using the public restroom at a Hardee's. I don't know why. I'm horrible at self-care. You know, I'll sit and have to go to the bathroom while I'm driving for another hour. It's not like the bathrooms are better at my destination. I don't know why I do it. I just don't like stopping. I don't like taking the time. But today I'm under no time constraint because by the time I get there, my friends won't even be awake. They all got there last night. They're late risers. I'm going to probably just drive to the beach and do some sea glass hunting, which my friend Cindy got me into recently when I went down to Colonial Beach, Virginia. Anyway, I am learning self-care. I'm learning to slow down. Even though I work full-time and I always feel rushed and I always feel stressed out and I have a lot of just general anxiety, I guess, I'm learning that you can slow down even when you're really, really busy. I just haven't gotten very good at the practice of it. So I'm forcing myself to learn how to de-stress, how to calm down with breathing and a little bit of meditation and yoga. And and it's hard because I feel the pressure to get more done and to be online all the time and skip lunch and sometimes skip dinner and work through dinner and early evening hours and get more done, and it never ends. It just is more work, more work, more work. So I'm learning to force myself to slow down, and this is part of self-care, is to stop on the road when I have to take a break, even though I don't want to. I have no agenda, no timeline to get there, and yet I'm rushing. So I'm patting myself on the back for taking a break on the road and taking care of myself. What's worse, this dirty toilet? This one with a leak in the light fixture. Great. Oh, this one's pretty healthy too. There's my van, guys. It's for sale. They had two, looked like Dodge Ram wagons from the 1990s that are exactly what I'm looking for, but it's just not time for me to buy. I don't have a place without paying for storage to keep my van and my car. I don't need my car necessarily for daily driving because I work 100% from home right now, but I'm not ready to trade in my car for just the van in case it has a lot of mechanical issues, and I want to get the van and resolve all the mechanical issues first and then give my car to my son. So not ready to do that yet. Don't have a place to park it, and don't want to necessarily pay for storage for a couple of years before I go full time. So I'm not going to buy the van that I want yet. Long-winded. Bad, there's only 3 cars in front of me. Normally, in the regular season, which this is a little early, I think, for season, there are probably 20, 30 cars in front of you when you pull up here, and you have to wait a long, long time for them to take the $25 admission fee. First horses of the trip. You gonna come to my window, buddy? Where are you going? You're right beside me. This is such a great campsite. Is no one here?